Hey everyone, I want to share with you a really good, let's call it app, if you will. If you are working with buyers, I mean you can even work with on the listing side from a mapping standpoint, but there's some definite things that Google Maps on a mobile device lacks at times. So if you were like me, when I showed properties, a lot of times it's not just one or two, it's three or five or sometimes even eight. I mean, although I never really did 8 to 10 in a day as normal practice, only if it was a relocation person coming in, and that's the only time I had with them. But most of the time, 3 to 4 homes, 5 homes, and whether you live in a rural area or a city, there's times I've driven all over the place. You and I both know no matter how good navigation is. Or I've driven to a house that was 5 miles away to realize that the other house I got to show is only 2 miles away and I have to backtrack a lot of times. So I wanted to find something that's a better solution. Google Maps is a great platform, but I wanted something that can help me optimize my mapping for timing purposes, for planning particularly in advance. And this goes back even to my corporate days, and I'll share with you a quick little insight, is when I was a regional manager for a large company, and I had to take outside sales reps, and they were going to take me on appointments that day. A lot of times it was a mess. They didn't know where they were going. They were disorganized. I was in the car. We had clients in the car. And that's not a good impression when you have buyers in real estate following behind you. Some are trying to meet you at locations. Some don't know where you're going. And it is an impression that if you're getting lost looking at homes, and we can't possibly know where all the homes are. So what I used to do back in the corporate days was have account executives map out our day. Meaning, show me the appointments on a map, let me know the times, the dates, everything we're doing, all before we get in the car. I think as a real estate professional, we should be doing the same thing. Map out your appointments. I don't care if it's 3. You might be optimizing time and also just finding the locations a lot easier, maybe using an app like Route4me up on the screen right now. So Route4me, it's free. I installed it. I'll go and show it to you a little bit, play around, show you how I use it, how you can use it as well. And let me log out of it a second. And I'm going to open it from the actual iPad. All right, so here's what we have. It's a map planner. And what I will do is I'm going to add some addresses. I'll show you some of the features. First thing is to add an address. So here we go. Let's start with set my departure address. And let's just say I'm going to start from and what it will do is it's going to actually validate the address to make sure it's findable on a map. So keep in mind, if the address is in a really rural area, you may need to be sure it's the exact address, and you touch it to confirm it. So now it puts my starting, or at least my first address on the map itself. Now, at the very bottom here, I'm going to add other destinations. Okay, so I'm going to add another destination, and we're going to go to 34 Stillwater Road. Done. And it's going to attempt to validate it again. Yep, that's a good address. I touch the address to accept it. Add another location. As you can see, dropping it on the map for me. I'm going to add another location. I'm just making these up. Hopefully they're accurate addresses. They all seem to validate, so we're good. But obviously I'd be pulling these from my MLS. Here's another valid address. I'm going to go to that one. And I'm going to pick another one here. Let's do another one. I'm going to go to 15 Main Street. Enter that one. So these are the 4 homes that I'm going to touch again. Right underneath valid address, I am touching the 15 Main Street, the one that validates it. So I got to touch it. It adds it to the map. And all the buttons, by the way, look on the left-hand side. I've learned this by trial and error, so please learn from this. The buttons on the left-hand side are green. If any of them are orange, means there's a conflicting address. You need to select which one. And you do that by hitting the right arrow. The right arrow there. It will then show you conflicting addresses, and you pick which one you want to go to. So if they're all green, all good. Let me just add in one more. 25 Oak Drive. I did this one on purpose. Let's see if this maps it properly. 25 oak. Green, valid, good. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pinch and zoom a little bit tighter. As you're going to see, some are very close together here. Let me let this optimize in a second. Okay, so I let it optimize in a little bit tighter and closer. And I can also pick map style, by the way. Right at the top center of your screen, map style. It'll let me pick the different types of satellite. Actually, I'm going to prefer hybrid. Hybrid is satellite and street name. That, to me, that's my favorite use. I can see both. I like terrain. I like streets. Now, you can see I've got two really close together here. And then as I pinch and zoom away, others are populating out. Now, I'm going to hit the Plan Route button, the green button. And I'm going to hit Plan Route. And what it's going to do is it's going to optimize and say my route has been optimized and improved by 21%. Okay, let's see what it did for me. And what it has done is it's put them in order of what is the most optimized way to use this, as in location 1, location 2, from the closest to the furthest. Pull back a little bit. There's down at the bottom of your screen, I got 3, I got 4. It's kind of optimizing it for me based on location. Now what I can do, options button. Most important part you need to know, top left-hand corner, options button. I can do a lot of things here. I can remove destinations. I can edit the destination, number 3, edit destination sequence. Maybe, although 25 Oak Drive is the closest to me, maybe I can't see them for 2 more hours later, and maybe they have to be the last stop based on timing of the showing. So by editing this, I'm going to touch the right-hand side where the 3 little line bars are, the 3 little line bars next to 25 Oak. I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to just slide it down with my finger down to there. Okay, and I could change that route. Now hit Plan Route again, and it's going to reroute it based on the look. Actually, you know what? It's going to reroute it. What I need to do, though, let's see here, is I need to go in. I need to turn off optimization. I need to disable 3/4 of the way down. Disable optimization so it does not optimize. Then what I'll do is edit the sequence. Hopefully that'll work. There we go. Now, what it did was it took the 25 Oak Drive and made it my last destination. Okay, so what I will go back in and do is I'm going to enable optimization again. Plan route. It's going to plan it for me, and it could re-optimize it again based on distance and location. Okay, so one more time is I'm going to go and disable optimization. I can definitely hit option and hit edit my sequence. And I could take 25 Oak and make it last. Plan the route that way. Once I plan it, I can get directions from there to the following locations. And directions is at the very bottom. Okay, so I'm getting directions this way here. Back to my destinations. Okay, it's got mapping and location. So I can see the highlighted route where it wants me to go. Okay, and of course, you know, I'm not going to say this is the most preferred route. There might be shortcuts you want to take. But at the end of the day, you could pull this map back, go back to options, enable optimization again, let it optimize for you, hit plan route, and at least this would be so helpful for me. I could look on a map and go, oh, okay, Oak's right around the corner. That's the first one. Maybe I set up my showings and my showing appointments based on this map, so I don't run myself back, forth, and I could see at least where all of them are charted. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 on the map there. Okay, so a lot of ways to use this. There's a lot of other options in here. I can add it to my routes. I can disable a tapping system. I could just tap a location. I can import locations if I wanted to. I can share this route, and I could say send this to my buyer potentially and say here's how we're gonna. Here's the map we're going to follow today for our showings. So I could type in this. I'm going to send this to me. And I could type in this if I wanted to. This would be something I'd even send to myself besides my customer, just as an option. Maybe it keeps you more organized. Type in all your showing times that you have set up, or maybe your admin is setting up for you. There you go. Okay, and I could have this saved and sent. So maybe I want to add or put notes to that. Send it to myself. I can send it to my client. What I will do is I'll look for that email in just a second, and I'll show you what it looks like on the end user side. Even if it is my own email or if it's someone I sent to a client, I want you to see what that looks like. So bear with me a second, and I'll show you that live on my iPhone or my iPad from the end user email standpoint. Okay, give me 1 second. Here we go. Let me go to my mail. Okay, so here we have the email that I just sent myself, and this is how it looks. I'm going to say open either on my browser, which I can do, or I'm going to open it on my iPhone or my iPad, but it's either way. I'm going to open it on either way, and it will send it to me in this format. Boom, there it is, and the locations and destinations are all there. Just curious to see what it looks like. If we say we're going to open it up in my browser, it will probably open up some kind of a Google Map interface, depending on which browser you're using. I know where it's sending me. It may want me to download the app so that I have the free app. You could download it for free. It'll put it on the interface for your customer. If you're on a computer, it'll open up an interface for you there. So here the app is free, so it would not cost you or your customer anything. Or if they have an iDevice, you just go back around, open it there. The other thing I just saw, which I want to take notice to, let's go back one more second, is these are all, I believe, live links. Every live link will take you to the actual Google map on actual Google Maps on your device itself. So showing you what I just did again, if I go back, all of those addresses are live links that I can actually touch as well, which will also bring me to that map, and I could do a whole bunch of stuff on Google with it to do that. Okay, so I've got a lot of different alternatives here to figure that out. So, Route4me, maybe it's an easier way to manage your day, your time, your buyers, and your scheduling to save you a lot of running around. Okay, hopefully that was helpful, and I'll be happy to share more with y'all. See ya.